Hi guys, Monday morning, back to routine and back to grind. I just want to show you guys what we getting done for supper today. So those of you that followed me on my travel to Burma, you guys seen I constantly kept on trying this dish that was called champ. We had it in Memio. On two occasions on the street this thing, so I am doing the chop today. It's a Surtee dish, and let me take you guys what I've prepped and what I've kept ready here. So here I've got 3/4 of a chicken, which is leg and thigh quarters, and then 4 fillets. So 3/4 and 4 fillets of chicken, which I brined, and I obviously then discarded the water, dried the meat, and then what I did was I deboned the meat. So here's the meat that's sitting here, and I've kept this aside. So what you want to do is you want to debone the meat and then chop it. And I don't use a machine, I use a knife, and I literally mince my meat with my knife, and I use this knife here, and I've minced my meat and I've kept it ready here. It's pretty fine at the moment. You can see this is all done with a knife. It's not done with a machine. Right, then what we've done is we've added the rest of the ingredients. So I've added, this is, like I said, 3 chicken quarters, leg and thigh, 4 fillets. I've got 1 tablespoon of double cream yogurt here. I've got 1 onion that's finely chopped like this with your knife, also not with your machine, please, because with the machine it'll release a lot of water and we don't want water. So finely chopped minced onion. You've got coriander that's here, finely chopped coriander, stalk and leaves, don't throw the stalks. Then to the meat we've added 1.5 tablespoon of roasted and dried cumin. I've added 1/4 teaspoon of the garam masala. It's very strong. Our garam masala is really nice and strong, so you don't want to overdo it. We've added a tablespoon each of fresh ginger, fresh garlic. I've added 1/2 teaspoon of white pepper, and I've added freshly minced green chilies and salt. We're going to add all of this, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to mix this and keep it ready. What we're going to do with this here is once we make these into cutlets, chops, we're going to push it back into these bones here and then fry it obviously with that and prepare. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to mix this really well and make sure that it's well incorporated. Guys, once again, please don't use a machine when you're mincing your chicken. You should not do that because it's going to release water. Also, the onions and the coriander is optional, right? Traditionally, Surtees don't add that. I've added it for flavor. The reason why I've added onions is because it helps make it moist as well. I've added the coriander for flavor, but otherwise they don't really add coriander, right? So we're going to mix this really well and form these into cutlets or chops, as we call it. I'll show you that also. Okay, so this is the method that I use basically to mince my meat. Also, the reason why I've added thigh and chicken fillet is because both of them together helps make it moist and tender and juicy. So that's why you don't want to really only use fillet. You want to make sure that you use thigh and fillet together. Okay, so you want to use like a kneading sort of a movement just to bring all your spices together, your meat, and it also helps in tenderizing the meat as well, this process. So just do it for about 3 to 5 minutes. Right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to form these into balls, palm-sized balls, and just portion these out. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to form these into cutlets or chops here. I've got my bowl here, then I've got this piece of bone. I'm going to shove this in the middle. And now we are going to start forming this into a round ball first. So basically just rotate your hand as you go along, almost pushing the bone into your meat there. And here I've got rice crumbs. These are rice crumbs, and the rule of these is that we roll these into crumbs first, and then just before frying we dip them in eggs and we fry. So crumbs first and then eggs. So here we go, we push, we flatten, and then I've got my knife here, and I am just going to help form these. So just push and make sure that it's nice and secure. Lift it with the help of something. So if you don't have like a scraper like this, then a utensil like this or whatever, then just use like a broad knife, a wide knife, and we flatten, push and lift up, and it won't break. And there we go, I've done one already, and we're going to keep this in the fridge to rest till this evening. Okay, so have a look here. They're all nearly done. I am just going to form all of these and prepare them and keep them ready. And I am probably going to do baked sweet potatoes with these. Yeah, so for the kids, I will be having my sweet potatoes. Going back to plant and vegetarian in the week, because with my weekends being so hectic, I don't always get the chance to like eat what I want to eat and how I want to eat, because then we're working under pressure and we want to push and whatever. So whatever is there and whatever is available, then we just end up shoving that. And I feel really, really guilty on a Monday morning then, because all my hard work during the week has gone down the drain. But yeah. So they're all done, nice and prepared. I've got about 2 layers of these, one at the bottom here, one on top here. I've put a wax paper in between. I'm going to close it or cover it with a wax wrap, just so that they don't dry out in the fridge, and put it away. In the evening, we're going to fry these on a tawa after we dip it in eggs. Okay, guys. So I have my egg wash that's ready here. So this is basically just eggs spiced with salt and pepper, my chicken from this morning, and yeah, we're gonna just dip it in here and we're going to fry it. Okay, so we're gonna carefully lift these, and you can see because they've been in the fridge, they're much more easier to handle now. And we're going to dip this and fry these. Simple. Okay, so on this side, I've got my sweet potatoes that have just come out of the oven. They're nice and roasted. Just going to slit them with a knife. A little bit of brown sugar from the chura, and some rough red chilies, olive oil, and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. It will go in the oven for another little bit. Salt and pepper, and we're done. All I've done is just simply cut the sweet potatoes, sprinkled with a little bit, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, brown sugar, rough red chilies, and it's going to go in the oven again. I've also got some pineapple pieces here that I'm also popping under the oven to grill up just a bit, just to serve in the sun. And these have gotten done really, really nicely. They've browned up nicely on both sides, so we'll just take them out and do the second batch quickly. So that's our first batch done. The first batch is nice and done. You can see they've browned up nicely. They've held their shape. Nothing's broken, nothing's cracked. And I've got my second batch going on here. So I'm doing these on medium heat. So obviously you want your oil to be hot, but not scorchingly hot, so that obviously your outside gets done and your inside stays raw. So medium to high heat, and then you can adjust heat once it's gotten a bit of color. And my sweet potatoes are done. So initially when I roasted my sweet potatoes, I popped them without any olive oil or any oil for that matter. I dry roasted them or baked them 180 degrees, open just like that, about an hour and 15 depending on your oven. Mine is induction, and now it's at 180, just getting melted and getting together. We have got some really abnormal people living in this house, because these idiots are making sriracha mayo to go with surtee chicken. Anils?
It's fried chicken, so it'll
It's
work.
Surtee chicken.
Is it fried?
It's fried, but it's Surtee.
Is it chicken?
It's chicken.
Yes, and which Surtee exactly gave you the permission to ban sriracha sauce?
No, Surtee gave me
Exactly. So let me know.
that. You love it.
There's giant lollipop chickens.
Leave it, and yeah. So we're making sriracha mayo to go with Surtee chicken, which
Yes.
is highly abnormal. Highly.
What should we have with it?
I don't know. They're having like some kind of issues here. What issues? I don't even know.